A few of you out there have a certain type of kiln, which is a Cress Kiln. Nothing wrong with these kilns. They work out fairly well. Most of them are manuals. You have your thumb wheel where you set your time. Always start at 0. You have your cone setter, which I'll show you how to use there. It's pretty much the same when it comes to anything else like that. Your backup, which is like your timer. Usually I set this for about 10 hours, and that's usually what I do for this one. This is where your cone sits, and then you have the speed of which the kiln fires. I always tell people with this one, the good one to go is slow. Nothing wrong with going the slowest. You can go slow, I'd either go E or D for the little timer to turn is what I would do. And this little button down here controls the speed of your kiln. Make sure it's set at 0 is what you want to make sure it's set at. And that way it'll start clicking, and it'll move and move and move until it reaches the finished stage. And then it clicks and shuts off, and then it starts over once again. But let me show you how to set the cones in there. Setting your kiln setter, there's 2 parts to it. This is the part where you're going to put your cone, and over here is the part you have to set. Without having this set right, the kiln won't turn on. It does not turn on. It will not do that whatsoever. So you have to set it a certain way, and that's the process I'm going to go through you by using these cones here. This is the cone you're going to use. Some are square, some look like a cone shape, is what they are. They have a little number on them to tell you what the cone is. Usually most people use either cone 04 or 06. When they're done, this is what happens to them in the kiln setter. They melt, and that tells it when to shut off. I'm going to show you how to set up the whole entire kiln setter. No matter if you have a scut, a cress, it's pretty much the same how it starts off by setting the kiln setter. So it doesn't really matter on that one, okay? Let's go through that process. Setting up your cone, here is what you need to set up with. And this is the cone here we're going to use to set up with right here. That's the cone we're going to use. Always make sure your numbers are facing inwards. So that little number always facing inwards in the kiln. And I always make sure it's to the left side, because you can do it this way, but it's upside down. Always make sure it's right side up, and it's facing this way in the kiln. So what I do is, I'll show you on the outside in a second, but I have it set here. I'm holding the outside piece, and this piece here, I'm setting the cone in like this, and then letting it rest, and that sets your piece so it's ready to go. Let me zoom in so you can kind of see what it looks like a little bit. It gives you a rough idea what it looks like on the outside. Push this thing up here, and then I push this little lever down. On my left hand, which is inside, I'm putting the cone in, letting it rest, holding this all together. Once the cone is between those 3 prongs and in the middle, it will stay on, and your kiln will begin to start cooking. It will have on, the lights will be on, and the disc will turn. Down below, it's right down below it is the disc that'll turn right here, and basically begins to start firing your kiln with that timer on. If you have a couple backup things will happen, it'll fire. Once the cone melts, it will do this, it will drop and shut off the kiln. And that's how you know you've reached firing in your kilns. That thing will drop there on these manual kiln setter type kilns. No matter if it's a scut or a cress, it all works pretty much the same.